y'all kept a girl waiting. Let's try this.
The Pokémon franchise has been in a weird spot for a long while now. While the franchise has still been selling like crazy, the quality of the games has stagnated since their transition to 3D on the Nintendo 3DS. For someone like me, this isn't the biggest problem, as nothing does Pokémon quite as well as Pokémon after all, but for many, the series was starting to lose its luster. Fans clamored for the big evolution in the franchise, the first evolution since the series' inception even, as even the move to 3D was only a visual change. With the 8th generation of Pokémon lingering on as we await the inevitable release of Scarlet and Violet, Game Freak took the time to release Pokémon Legends Arceus, a game that promised to give fans what they've been asking for a long time. Sporting open exploration, revamped catching and battle mechanics in a different setting than we are typically used to, does this legend come across correctly? Or were Game Freak acting the typical bard and embellishing the story a little? With a fanbase as ornery as the Pokémon fanbase, they better hope they knocked it out of the park. Now, Legends Arceus starts off with the most unexpected thing ever. Arceus decides to just isekai us. For the uninitiated, what does that mean exactly? Well, we were some poor schmuck in the present day, potentially not even from the Pokemon universe, that Arceus decided to whisk away to another world, the ancient world of Hisui. Here, our benevolent prankster god asks us to capture every Pokemon to be given the chance to meet with him. It's in this new world you meet the Galaxy Expedition Team, the totally not Team Galactic from Diamond and Pearl, and join up with them to study the dangerous creatures known as Pokémon. Along the way, you'll end up meeting some potentially familiar looking faces while trying to figure out just exactly how you got here and just what that rift in the sky actually is. The characters you meet are all pretty interesting and their interactions are fun, although it's Pokémon, so the story isn't exactly the focus here, but it is different enough and the side quests add just enough detail to the world that it's a nice step in the right direction as far as the series goes. Now, the gameplay in Legends Arceus is much different than other Pokémon games while carrying much of the same DNA. First off, it's a completely single-player JRPG. You still run around finding Pokemon to battle or to catch while raising your team and completing the story. The big difference here is the environment. What many thought was going to be an open-world Pokemon game is in fact a Pokemon version of Monster Hunter. You start in your hub town, Jubilife Village, and can explore it to shop, talk to folk, accept side quests, and manage your team before approaching the town gates to head out into the field. Here, you'll select a location from a map menu and will be taken right there. Once in each zone, you'll have free reign of the place, but it's not completely open. There is no traveling from one zone to the next seamlessly. To some, this may seem disappointing, but I feel this was a good way of handling it, as each zone is diverse and has plenty of different Pokemon hiding within. When in a zone, you'll roam about and encounter Pokemon or gather items to craft with while running around or using the ride Pokemon you get during the story to explore the rather large area. Now, it's no Breath of the Wild or Xenoblade in size, but it is fairly big. Sadly, there isn't much to actually do in the environments aside from picking up items or interacting with Pokemon, but that's where the fun is to be had. Interacting with Pokemon has gotten a pretty big glow up while remaining fundamentally the same. All Pokemon are visible on screen, meaning you get to pick and choose just who or what you'll encounter, as touching a Pokemon no longer initiates a battle. Approaching a Pokemon will give you one of three results. They might be wary of you and run away, pissed off about your stupid face and want to tear it off, or they might not give a shit and wander up to you wondering just what the hell you're doing. As simple as this is, it gives a lot more life and personality to the Pokemon, especially since each one has a decent range of animations out and about. Of course, how are you supposed to capture them if engaging in battle is no longer so simple? Well, you do what is most effective in life. Take them from behind. Here in Legends Arceus, you can be the little sneak thief yourself. No longer are the Pokemon hunting you when tall grass is around. Now it's your turn to hide in the grass. When crouching and entering tall grass, Pokemon are oblivious to your presence, giving you the opportunity to sneak up on them and manually toss a ball at their ass, attempting to capture them. Scoring a direct hit from behind will give you a higher chance of a capture, but even then it isn't foolproof, and a failed capture might cost you your life if the Pokemon is aggressive. Of course, this isn't Pokemon for nothing. You can beat them up to make them your slaves if you prefer, though some Pokemon might run from this as well. Here you can manually toss berries or your Pokemon party in your Pokemon to distract them. Berries to give you time to sneak up on them, and your party to give them a beating before delivering the ball. When engaged in combat, the rest of the world takes a breather while you engage in a simplified version of Pokemon's battle system, albeit with full control of your trainer. Here you can whittle the Pokemon's HP down like normal and capture like normal, no need for aiming here, but sometimes other Pokemon can join the fight. I've had like 6 Pokemon at me at once. It was kinda nutty. Combine that fact with a higher difficulty than normal for the series, plus refinements such as the ability to change moves whenever from the menu, as well as like free throwing Pokeballs, and you have a more engaging Pokemon experience on your hands. Of course, there are the advertised noble Pokemon as well, which are boss battles that combine action object throwing and traditional battling, and they're fairly engaging. This is where you'll be doing most of your dodge rolling, a new skill Arceus bestowed upon you, as you'll need it to dodge the noble's attacks, though you'll use it against regular wild Pokemon also. Not the most difficult things, and combat does a bit too much damage to them personally, but they are a nice break from the traditional gameplay. Sadly, like expected, not all Pokemon are here, but there is enough to keep you from getting too tired of the selection. Overall, the amount of Pokemon is good, the exploration and movement is fun, and the new gameplay systems are incredibly engaging, making for a breath of fresh air for the franchise. Now, the Switch is no powerhouse, this is known. Unfortunately, Legends Arceus looks rougher than the Switch can handle. Overall, the art style looks nice, but the draw distance on vegetation and such is quite low, leaving things to pop in as you move, which is always a distraction. Of course, this isn't something exclusive to this game. Xenoblade and Breath of the Wild are guilty of this as well, but those games at least look their console. This does not. You probably heard countless people comparing it unfavorably to the look of a PlayStation 2 game, and as someone who regularly plays GameCube and PlayStation 2 games, this is untrue. However, it does look exceedingly bad, like something you'd see in a low-budget PlayStation 3 game. Low-quality textures are everywhere and can easily take you out of the experience if you let them. Now, visuals are not everything, but they do matter, and these are quite bad. Of course, that is just the environments. The character models and animations are actually decent here. The characters look great and have a more refined range of emotions and faces, giving them a bit more life than seen in Sword and Shield, and the Pokemon themselves have more range in their animations as well. Their behavior gives them life in the world, but even in battle, improvements are seen, both from animations and effects. Just having a game where tackle actually makes your Pokemon tackle the opponent is enough for me to sing its praises, and that's saying something for the franchise. Stepping away from the visuals, we have the music, and it's great. though I feel Pokemon never needed any improvement in this field. The music always sets the stage well, though I am still disappointed by the constant insistence on using the same old Pokemon cries. I would like them to have voices already. Overall, the game is ugly, but the art is nice and the music is good, making it a very mixed bag presentation-wise. When it comes to negatives, most boil down to the visuals. It's just so damn ugly. To put it into cruder terms, the environments are the ugly bastard and the Pokemon and art are the beautiful anime girls. It's not a good picture to paint, especially when the performance can get as shit as it can get. Now, it's not the worst performing thing, and I'm glad they actually cleaned things up as much as they did before launch, coming off that laughable reveal, but it is rough. Other than that, the game is just pretty one note. If you don't enjoy the active gameplay, you won't have much fun with this one, as that's all it is. In the end, Arceus was a grateful god, as the game with his namesake turned out quite well. Of course, I can't stress just how ugly the game is when you sit and stare at it, but you should be too busy running around and tossing your balls at whatever Pokemon you want on your team to notice too much. This is the breath of fresh air Pokemon needed, and while it took them long enough and it doesn't seem like they'll be keeping it going for the next games, I am glad we finally got here. Now, there's still some work to be done, mostly visually and performance-wise, but this is more than a solid start. This game is a ton of fun, and some of the most fun I've had with a modern, open-style game since Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Arceus bestows upon our isekai protagonist a glorious harem of 9 out of 10 Pokemon. I don't know if that's what they expected, but it's what they got. At least the score is high. Just gotta clean up the ugly bastard next time, Game Freak.